The GQP's Lauren Boebert, who once thought she was representative of Utah instead of Colorado, dished out some doublespeak while feeding Trump's big lie to a crowd. In just 45 seconds she managed to tell a crowd the election was stolen and vote shame Christians for not showing up at the ballot box, and thus legitimately giving Congress to the Democrats and the presidency to Biden. So many people are realizing elections have consequences, even if they're stolen, the stable genius said before contradicting her own logic. We have to do our part, especially if you believe in God. If you are a Christian, don't sit back this time. Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene are the Republican Party's far-right rising stars, but the two reportedly came nearly to blows at a recent party conference. Another lawmaker had to step in and intervene, according to a Politico item about the Freedom Caucus internal problems. Republicans say Boebert, Republican Colorado, who's seen as more of a party team player than Greene, detests being tied to her Georgia colleague. And when the House Freedom Caucus Board of Directors gathered last month at its usual spot a few blocks from the Capitol, the two tangled over Greene's appearance at a February event organized by a known white nationalist. Their confrontation grew so heated that at least one onlooker feared the Greene-Boebert back and forth might escalate beyond the verbal cage match had another board member not stepped in to de-escalate, according to a GOP lawmaker who was granted anonymity to describe what happened. The issue is basically this: the two are regarded as a matched pair, but Boebert wants to be a GOP it girl and has dialed back her associations with QAnon, Proud Boys, etc. Whereas MTG grows ever more feral. This distinction is highlighted by something I don't think anyone has pointed out. If these two did come to blows, it would not be the comical catfight of Twitter's imagination, a video of two similarly looking women clawing at one another's hairs going viral. MTG is a CrossFit freak and would break Boebert's neck like a twig before anyone realized what was happening. In an interview with the Daily Beast's Matt Lewis, one of the members of the conservative group that pulled out all the stops to make sure that Rep. Madison Cawthorn, RNC, lost his primary last Tuesday, claimed that they are focusing their energy on also making Rep. Lauren Boebert, Republican Colorado, a one-term House member. According to the conservative Lewis, it is possible that Boebert will be Cawthornized with an onslaught of attacks about her scandals that could be more effective in her case because her district is not as solidly red as it was when she won in 2020. As David Wheeler of the American Muckrakers PAC explained, his group would never go as far as releasing a nude video of Boebert like they did to Cawthorn in the primary campaign's waning days, but said they would attempt to capitalize on her personal life, which, like Cawthorn's, seems to be an absolute mess. With columnist Lewis going over Boebert, and her husband's, well-documented brushes with the law, he added, there will be no dearth of material to use against Boebert, including things that are yet to emerge, scandals or sort of like cockroaches. For every one you see, there are probably 100 hiding. Speaking personally, Lewis wrote, as a conservative, I'm certainly happy to trade toxic Republicans like Cawthorn and Boebert for more mainstream conservative Republicans, before adding, obviously, we are talking about negative campaigning here. There's something about that feels inherently dirty, even if these candidates are beyond the pale. I think part of the story, though, is that groups like American Muckrakers are fulfilling a niche that was once performed by political parties and local newspapers. It won't be easy, but it seems at least possible that Boebert will continue the trend that started last week with Cawthorn's defeat. If that happens, it's game on, he added before suggesting, defeating flawed politicians like Cawthorn and Boebert after one term would serve as a sort of course correction and send a message to everyone else. Not everyone is Harry Houdini. Not everyone is Donald Trump. Sometimes people are held accountable. Sometimes, the empire strikes back, he concluded.